Good morning, staff. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Last week, there were quite a few teachers who had some questions about how you know what you're supposed to do on what day of Bulldog time for the digital citizenship. So I'm just going to click into grade 10 here, just for an example. And the way these work is each grade, your lessons are listed over here on the left-hand side. Then there's just usually a picture or something that kind of goes with the theme of digital citizenship. So I'm going to go ahead and open my online code, which is the first lesson here. And this is where you'll find more of that. Here's what you're supposed to do day one. Here's what you're supposed to do day two. The printouts that you were either given or printed off on your own, they don't tell you what you're supposed to do. So I had a lot of teachers looking at that and saying, that's way too much information to go through. So come back here. It's critical that you have the website open while you're going through this, because chances are you will have a video that goes with it. This is just a kind of one of those exceptions that doesn't have a video. So let me go back and pick a different one. Who are you online? This might be a little bit better. Okay, so here's one where you'll have either a slideshow and a video, but on the left-hand side over here, here's where it says like day one, discuss these terms, and then go through the slides. And that it tells you this should take 5 minutes. Going through the slides, that should probably take about 15 minutes or so. And then you discuss the differences between an avatar for a fantasy game versus an avatar for a social networking site. And students are going to have a lot of feedback about things like that. And then day two, you will divide students into groups, show this video, and then go through some of these talking points down here. But what you were given, your printouts basically, is this PDF that's down here at the bottom. The reason I went to the trouble of printing it off is because I put some notes on it. There's some annotations on here that say like, do this day one, do this day two, print one copy per group. Those types of things I wrote on there just to be helpful. But this is the same thing. I mean, if you look through this, you'll see it's the same thing as your printout. The other thing I want to point out that I think is really, really confusing, and this is a lot of people have come back and said, I don't get where this particular handout is or whatever. If you look, number one, I should say this first, the numbering of the pages on the PDFs is really funky. So when the PDF starts out, they all go through the same, it's all the same format. There's like the introduction, the essential questions, the overview, those types of things. Those are all like pages 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then when it gets to things like the assessment, which we don't typically do, it starts over. So you go from page 5 to page 1. So that's why you'll hear me say things like print the 6th and 7th and 8th pages of the PDF, because it might be numbered pages 1, 2, and 3, even though it's not page 1, 2, and 3. And that, I think, is the most confusing thing. The other thing, the things that I say print, I'm trying to scroll through here and see if I can find one. Like the name of the document is always in the upper right corner. So if it says print John's story, it'll say John's story in the upper right corner of the page. So I hope that answers your questions, and please don't hesitate. Look over this today and tomorrow. And if you have any questions, please just email me or come on down here to 119 and I'd be glad to help you out.